Hi there, this is Freya and welcome to Otherworldly's YouTube channel. Over Christmas, Merry Christmas by the way, I went on a bit of a shopping spree getting a bunch of new Teegle things for myself, and I had hoped to review them right away, but I got a bit of a cold right after Christmas. As you can hear, it's still not quite gone, but I hope it'll be acceptable for this video at least. Hopefully I won't sneeze my way through it, because I really did want to share a few of the things out there for you out there if you have any interest in the Teegle horses, the Teegle pets in particular, or maybe if you've been eyeing them and not made a decision yet. I thought I would show some of the new capabilities. They recently in November upgraded from the beta version to version 1, and that added a lot of neat little things when it comes to the animations and posing opportunities, and a few sets that are taking advantage of that have been released. We're going to start here with the Friesian model. I've shown this one before. It's one of my favorites of the ones released so far, and I've got it, I actually got myself a redelivery, so this is like a clean pet. The only thing I've done is take off the hover text, and of course he has the name that I had already given him, which is Talat, bonus points if you know where I got that one from. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put on a new set of a saddle and bridle set to show off one of the options that you can have, and also I'm going to install some side saddle animations. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to show you the latest model of Teeglepet as well, which is the massive Clydesdale. So first we are going to dive into my inventory. I'm in the wrong place because I got myself a foot alpha. But let's see, here is my Animish folder. And the various things I have been collecting for my Teegle pets. I also have the Teegle horse avatar, but that is actually on a separate account because I wanted to be able to ride it, so I had to have it on an alt account. First, what I got was this, the Friesian Baroque bridle and Friesian Baroque saddle. So I thought I could take the opportunity to show you how to install, or add rather, saddles and bridles and other accessories to your Teegle pet. I'm going to start with the bridle. So what you do is you res it out, and you see it sitting here, and the HUD here actually has the instructions. First you use a texture HUD, because then you have to delete the script, and then you link things up. So I'm going to start by deleting that part, adding the HUD, and I actually want the black bridle, and I want everything in gold to go with my dress from the Dreaming Thicket. Once I've done that, I delete that. And then here's the, well, it's not so tricky, but you know, you don't want to mess it up anyway. You edit. You hold down Shift. You click the horse. And here you're going to get the option to link. And you link. And you close it, and voila, there's the bridle on the horse. And then we do the same thing with the saddle. You res it out, delete the massive cube, put on the HUD, and click a few things to, that looks like the black, and then I want the black saddlecloth with gold trim. And there's the saddle in black. It's a little difficult to see against that background, actually. I think I got everything in black now. Click a few extra times just to make sure. detach and have a look at it. Cam in on this one and see if I manage to change it up. That looks black to me. Yes. It's probably the light that is actually, there's a little bit of a purple in the light, so that's probably changing things a bit. So then, again, we edit. Down shoot. Click the horsey and link. And off we go. There you have your Friesian in his very new Baroque tack set. These sets for the Teeglepet will only work for the Teeglepet model that they're made for. There's enough difference between them that you can't just switch them between different horses. There may be some models where you can sort of get away with it, but you're likely to get clipping and such. So anyway, here's my Friesian. And now I'm going to show you just quickly what it looks like when I sit in this saddle normally. So I'm going to press right here and hop up. And as you can see, well, you could ride in a dress like that, but you kind of have to technically pull it up and all these things. So it's a little bit weird. Positioning's pretty good here, I think, but basically not great for a dress or a fantasy setting if you want to ride like that, unless you have a mesh dress that's actually made with a split skirt. Which, by the way, I wish that somebody would do so that you had it done for riding with pants under. So I'm going to hop off again. And instead, I am going to get down to my Mithril folder. And here I have the Teeglepet Friesian side saddle. And now, this is the nice thing with the version 1, I can just apply them. So I add this HUD, and I allow it to install new note cards. And I wait until it says finished. Detach that. And then I do the high stepping rather than the collected gate. And I allow it to send those. I'm not sure why it says send 10 out of 10 items and finish installing 9, but maybe one of them is just a note card rather than the actual animation. And then finally, you want to add the stand as well. And wait for that to finish. Or did it? No, it didn't. Huh. Okay, let's click pony and see if we've got it. Standing. No, we don't. So I'll try again. I may have clicked. Now there we've got it sending. And finished installing 6 items. Anyone who has worked with installing scripts and such into things knows that ESL can be a little dodgy on this point, so it may not always work directly. But now we're going to see here. We have Friesian set. So I'm going to pick that for the stand, and you see he changes his stand posture. Then I'm also going to change his walk to the collected. And go up like that, and like that, and there we are. So let's see what happens when I hop on my horse now. And here we go, much better. I need to do some adjusting. I'm sitting a little high, I think. Yes, my butt isn't quite in the saddle. So we go to adjust here. And let's do the 0.5. We go a little bit backwards. That's better. And we go a little bit downwards. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. So here we are in a nice side saddle. You see, here I've got my hand on the rein. Well, more or less, it can be, depending on obviously your shape and everything, difficult to get that working exactly. But it looks very classy. Got my hand a little saucily on my hip. My Friesian is looking very fancy and elegant, swishing his tail and standing prettily. I'm going to see if I can catch a little bit of the walk as well by using the auto walk and just zooming in on me like that. Let's see how this works. Oh, okay, camera decided not to really follow, but there we go. I'm going to hit an ice wall very soon. I will have to hope my horsey turns around. He did not do that on his own, on the other hand. Mesh can be a little difficult like that. But this shows very nicely how the auto walk works. Looks very elegant, I think. Very stylish. Very Lady Hawk, if you've watched that movie. In the terms of it, unless a Friesian is the big war horse. Don't think there's any side saddle riding, however. So there you have it. This new way of installing animations, and Mithril has a number of these sets that basically changes both the rider's animation and the horse's animation. This opens up for all sorts of possibilities where you can do interactive poses with your horses, pose sets and all these things, and I'm waiting with bated breath for a lot of these because it can be difficult to arrange photos with the horses that look like you're really interacting with them. So, you know, I want all of them basically to have lots of fun with my Teegle pets. I love them for photos, and I love having them around and on the sim. They gallop around there in a little herd. And like I promised you, I'm also going to show you the latest Teeglepet. So just give me a moment and I'll get him out. I think I'm gonna stay on the horse because, well, he's such a big pony and I might as well have the vantage point of being on the horse as a comparison. And, you know, the Friesian is pretty big. As you can see, probably taller than an RL Friesian. There are some that are taller than others, but a little on the tall side. And then when you put my Clydesdale next to, you'll see that he's looking small. I have named my Clydesdale Hinneril. Extra bonus points if you know where that is from. His actual name is Guinness, very appropriately. I'm going to rest him here. Hope I don't rest him right in the middle of myself. There we go. And I'm going to turn him around a little bit to give you a sense of his size. Actually, I think that maybe we are floating a little bit. Let me just do some cautious adjusting of that. There we go. So here we have him. Quite a bit taller than the Friesian, as you can see. Quite massive. This is the default coat that he comes in. And he's got the typical short tail of the Clydesdale. I think I would like to have an add-on here that allows me to have a longer tail. Actually, I think I'm going to move him in front of me so that you can see him a little bit better. So he's more in the light. Because I am going to have him cosplaying as another type of large horse. So I think with an actual long tail on, it'll be more to the appropriate look. You can buy add-ons as well that give you options for the feathering here. Actually, he comes with a HUD where you can manage the feathering on the legs. I'll show you that. You can basically turn off every step of the feathering to decide how much you want or how little you want. And then, of course, So there is a separate coloring HUD where you can put different colors of feathers on if you decide to change his color. Now, you can also buy skins. I actually picked up a new skin as well. I picked up the deep black voodoo skin. The thing with this is that if I were to use that now, it would actually apply to both horses. You need to separate the horses out because you can't specify as of yet which one you apply to. So I'm not going to be showing that one right off because then I have to pick up and fiddle around. It is much easier, however, now to restore. That I'm going to point out. It used to be that you had to re-deliver to restore the original coat, but now, you see here, Guinness, you've got his skin applier for the default skin included in the folder. Now, that will only work on this horse. You can't use that to get a base skin for all of your horses, for example. But otherwise, it's very handy to have that as a shortcut. I guess I'm just going to do a little quick horsey switch here and hop over onto Guinness for a moment to show you. I don't have the side saddle installed. The side saddle set is technically not made for him, so I don't know how that would work. As you can see, he is very wide compared to how I was sitting on the Friesian, even when I weren't using the side saddle. I can show you from the top that, ow, that makes my hips hurt in RL, because that's the kind of thing that can be a little painful when you're riding. He's obviously meant mainly as a draft horse, not a riding horse. And what we do have, oh, he's gonna walk off here, I think. Yep. And what? Now he disturbed me. What was I saying? Yes, there is a lovely draft set available, actually, which, sorry, a harness for using with carriages, carts, so on. So that is actually on my shopping list as well. Not that I have a carriage or a cart, but it would look awesome, so I've been thinking of getting one. You seem to be insisting on photobombing this thing, but that's okay. You are allowed. You're a very pretty pony. What else was I going to go into? Let's see. I've talked about the chain, the harness for him, and yes, a lot of them come with a couple of accessories right from Teegle that you can buy strictly for that breed. Most of them have a Western saddle option. Since I do mainly fantasy, I haven't really picked up any of those. Like I say, he has also the addition of the feather coloring and the harness. So it varies a little bit depending on which Teeglepet you get. And so far we have, let's see how many Teeglepets there are. Well, there's the unicorn, Fable the unicorn. There's Guinness the Clydesdale. There's Maestro the Hanoverian, Prince the Friesian, and Sugar Cookie the American Paint. Plus, there's a Shetland pony, which I have yet to pick up. He's terribly cute, though. So there's always a risk that he will find his way into my collection also. And that's about what I wanted to show for today. I think you should check these out. They are, the pets themselves are quite reasonably priced for the no copy version. They are 1,500. If you want a copy version, so you can have a whole herd of Clydesdales, and bye-bye Guinness, sorry, Hinaril, you need about, that'll cost you 6,000. I haven't yet had a breed that I want a whole herd of. The Friesian came closest. I'm waiting for, I think, Andalusian or PRE, Pura Raza Español, or Lipson before I might possibly dive into the copy version. Oh, yes, now I remember, now that he's wandering off. They've also added with this more interactions between the horses, so if you have a herd of them around, you will see that they stand around grooming each other and doing cute things like that. Sometimes also walking straight through each other, so it's not always working 100% with the figuring out where the other horse is, but it's very cute when they're grooming, and he seems set on exploring. I hope you've enjoyed this. I will probably be doing more of these as more interesting animations come out to show you, and I think if you like that as well, Mithril is definitely the big place to keep an eye on. Heraldic has some really nice ones too, but Mithril is really fantastic. Until the next time, and I hope you all have a fantastic end of the year and a great start to 2020.